Well, good morning, everybody. This is Jack Cox, author of Love Not Fear. I want to start today just by reading to you something that I wrote. In fact, a couple of things that I've been writing over the last couple of days. You can find these things on my Love Not Fear Facebook page and also on my Love Not Fear Telegram page or Telegram channel. Can I please just urge you all, before we go any further, to subscribe to my Telegram channel. The Facebook can be taken down at any time, so can this YouTube channel. So please go over. Right now, even now, I'm putting a load of stuff on Telegram that's too controversial to put on Facebook. So please do go over there. I'll put a link below to it and subscribe to my Telegram channel. So this is what I've been writing. If I can find it. It's called Conspiracy Theories No More. 85% of the things that David Icke and others have been saying and been called crazy for saying over the last few decades have now been proved true. Agenda 2130. You can download it from the United Nations website. The Great Reset. You can download it from the World Economic Forum's website. Look who's behind the World Economic Forum. The biggest 1,000 corporations on the planet. The Great Reset is designed to make the rich richer while destroying small and medium-sized businesses, taking away what little private wealth we have and give it to the big boys. And we've seen that happening now, haven't we? We're seeing it happening right now during these lockdowns. That's what the lockdowns are for, or partly what the lockdowns are for. They're nothing to do with health. The jab has been ushered through. Now facts are emerging, not theories, facts are emerging. You've got to see these things as a whole, not just look at little bits in isolation. You've got to join up the dots. The CV-19 fraud, where a bug only slightly more dangerous than the annual flu. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. Has been hyped up deliberately to spread fear and cause worldwide panic. Totalitarian regimes have always used fear as a means of control, and this is no different. The fascists are using the fear of the Bogeybug and the fear of human-made climate change as an excuse to launch the Great Reset and Agenda 2130. But people just don't see it. Little aside, let's just talk a little bit about this climate change thing. Now, I'm not sufficiently qualified. My degree is in environmental science, but I'm not sufficiently qualified to say whether man-made, human-made climate change is real or not. But I can tell you a story from when I was at university. My professor, Ewan McPhee, brilliant guy, really, really intelligent guy, really, really highly qualified guy. I went to his house once, and you walk in through the front door, and the wall of the hall, and all the way up the stairs are framed certificates and awards that he's won. Brilliant, brilliant guy. One of the things he had to teach us in this course was about climate change. And he clearly wasn't comfortable about it, and I confronted him once. And I said, Ewan, you're not comfortable about this, are you? You're not happy about this. And he said, well, I can't say too much, he said, because I'm scared of losing my job. Well, that told me all I needed to know. And that tells me all I need to know now about healthcare professionals who are not speaking out because they're scared of losing their jobs. Wherever there's that kind of censorship, I mean, it was the globalists had wormed their way into the educational establishment right back when I was at university. That was a long time ago. I think how much worse it is now. I don't know whether human-made climate change is real or not, but I do know that my gut instinct is that when something is being suppressed, that's probably the side that's telling the truth. I'll carry on with what I wrote. What does CV19 and climate change theory have in common? They're both protected by the police, governments, and the mainstream media. Both subjects are taboo. No open debate, no free speech, and dissenters are arrested for speaking out. These are the very hallmarks of fascism. Just compare the different policing strategies employed at the recent anti-lockdown demos and at the Extinction Rebellion demos. One group opposes the totalitarian takeover and the other, probably unwittingly, supports it. One group gets violently repressed while the other is given a free hand, even when destroying property. Why can't everybody see this? And the mainstream media's complicity in all of this? Just look at the massive electoral fraud that's just happened in America. Is the media reporting it? No. You need to ask yourselves why. Are they even bothering to investigate the inconsistencies in the CV19 strategy? No, they couldn't give a toss. What about all the highly qualified scientists who have evidence that casts climate change theory into doubt? Is any of that given airtime? No. I explained 5 years ago in my first book, Rupert Murdoch's Hitmen, how the media conspire with the bankers, the politicians, the police, the arms manufacturers to ensnare us in their web of lies. I wrote that book with a former News of the World photographer friend of mine, and he's given me up the inside of all this, the way they work. It's so crooked. Well, all this isn't even hidden in plain sight anymore. It's not hidden at all. Yet people are being accused of being tinfoil hat flat earthers for even mentioning it. And still 3/4 of the world's population can't see it. Or they don't want to see it. Frozen like rabbits in the headlights, not knowing what to do. It's a lot easier and more comfortable to pretend you just haven't seen. What we have to do is stand together. Just say no. We do not consent. We will not comply. And when they try to starve us out with their evil vaccine passports, or by restricting our access to money with their new Chinese-style social credit system, what are we going to do then? Well, before that happens, we better set up an alternative informal free gift economy, as I describe in my latest book, Love Not Fear. I'm going to read that again. Before that happens, we better set up an alternative informal free gift economy, as I describe in my book, Love Not Fear. If we can do that, then we can render all this BS, the New World Order, the Great Reset, Agenda 2130, we can render it all obsolete. No government involvement, just peer-to-peer generosity. No money changes hands. The fascists won't be able to stop that. One question people ask me a lot is whether they are fascists or communists. Well, I think we've come to a point now where we can see that the two terms are virtually synonymous. And they're certainly not opposites, just different aspects of totalitarianism. Whatever you choose to call them, we can beat them if we come together with love and not fear, and help each other to thrive in an informal, local, free gift economy. Now, did you see Gerald Batten on Thursday? I think it was Thursday, on Hearts of Oak. This was the second time he's been on to talk specifically about the Great Reset. And it's absolutely brilliant, and you've got to watch it. And I'm going to put a link down below to that as well. And also, I'm going to put a link down below to the YouTube video I made back in October about the Great Reset. We really need to see this. And this is this is a tiny little bit, one tiny quote that I've taken from Gerald Batten on Thursday. What gets me about this is that they are telling you what you're allowed to do. People have lost all concept that they are citizens in a free country. That's what Gerald Batten said. That's what I'm saying. Please, never forget you're a free citizen in a free country. The government do not have the right, they do not have the mandate to tell you what you can and can't bloody well do. Yes, they can set laws. But if they haven't outlawed something, it's still legal. They're trying to turn that round. They're trying to say you can only do what they say you can do. And that's BS. That's not true. You can do anything that they have not specifically told you can't do. In law, not guidelines, law. And laws have to be passed by Parliament. If only we could be more generous to each other, peer to peer, we could live in paradise. So let's start helping each other to thrive, instead of trying to thrive at each other's expense. A better way is possible. And I explain the better way in here. You can get it from Amazon, you can get it as the paperback, you can get it on Kindle. And if you don't want to spend any money, that's fine too. You go to my website, lovenotfear.uk, you can get a free PDF version. Just download it and give it away to everybody you know. We've got to get these ideas out here. And I'm not talking about changing the whole world. I'm not saying that we can bring in a worldwide free gift economy overnight. In the book, which I actually wrote back in 2018, I thought we had 30 years to bring all this in. So what I'm saying now, and this is important, is start local cells, local groups, just a few friends who have each other's back. The important things, first off, I've said all this before, but I've got to keep plugging away at it because, well, we don't have a lot of time left, do we, to get this done. If you grow food, they're the first people you need to get in a group, the people that grow food. Grow food to give away. Grow a surplus to give away. Everybody who can grow anything at all, anyone who's got any land, anyone who's got a window box or a balcony can grow something. I know it's the winter's coming on, but you can still grow stuff under glass. Grow food to give away. But you need to get all the other trades and professions involved as well. And the example I often give is that when your pipes burst in the winter, you'd be damn bloody glad that you've been feeding the plumber for the last couple of months. You know, what goes around comes around. We're not counting cost. We're not bean counters. What goes around comes around. I'm not talking barter. And I'm not talking communism either. This is no government involvement. There's only one thing wrong with communism, and that's government involvement. The government takes over the role of the tyrant and becomes just as bad, if not worse, than the tyrant was. The capitalist tyrant gives way to the government official tyrant. I'm talking about no government involvement. But the other thing where communism goes wrong is there's no private property, no private wealth. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying be generous with your private wealth. This is not communism. This is capitalism for decent, honest people who care about each other, who try to help each other to thrive instead of trying to thrive at each other's expense. You don't pay your workers as little as possible, and you don't go into work to do as little work as possible. That's where everything's been going wrong for a long time. You give as much as you possibly can. And we can all be extremely wealthy if we did that. There was something else I wrote. Sorry, I should have had this prepared better, shouldn't I? There was something else I wrote. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, here we go. At the end of the Great Reset paper, Klaus Schwab of the World Economic Forum acknowledges 67 people from various big companies who contributed to it. This is paraphrased from Gerald Batten's speech. These are people from the HR departments, what we used to call personnel back in the sensible days, from the world's biggest corporations. Among those 67 names, there is not one single elected politician who has had any input on this. The people have had no say in this whatsoever through their elected representatives. Now let that sink in. This is being imposed upon us over our elected representatives, and that's not democratic. Klaus Schwab also quotes another company called Mercer, an American asset management firm, the world's largest outsourced asset manager, with over $300 billion in outsourced assets under its management. This is a huge corporation which operates in 130 countries. It has 25,000 employees. So Mercer is this huge company, the world's largest outsourced asset manager. But they're only part of another, even bigger corporation. The global professional service firm called Marsh and McLennan. The majority of people getting on with their lives have no idea that these companies even exist. Yet they are helping to bankroll the Great Reset, which threatens to turn all our lives upside down, strip us of all our businesses and our private wealth, and bring in a totalitarian world government. Are we just going to sit by and let that happen? Bloody right we're not. Or are we going to come together and stop it? The CV lockdown measures are just the first battle. If we let them get away with that, the Great Reset will quickly follow, to turn us all into slaves of the mega corporations and technocrats. Just say no. Do not comply. I did not agree. I did not vote for this. I will not comply with this. A better way is possible. We can have our own Great Reset that will restore power to the people. The choice is yours, people. Friends, please choose wisely. Namaste.